Teaching the heel and side position. Step 1. Click and treat the dog when he puts his front paws on the box. Step 2. Lure the dog with a piece of food, but with his head facing slightly away from you. As the dog's head moves away from you, the rear end will swing in towards you. When the dog touches your leg, click and treat. Step 3. Move away slightly, and if your dog moves in to touch your leg, click and treat. If he does not, just lure again to get him in the right position. Step 4. Practice going both directions to make sure the dog has balanced, strong hind end muscles. Training tip. Luring the dog's head away from you will cause the dog to move his rear end towards you. Training tips. Do not put it on cue yet. The dog is just learning the position. Wait until you've faded the box and are doing this exercise on the ground. When you do put it on cue, I would suggest to use a different cue for each side. My cues are heel and side. Fade out the food lure. You could use your hand as a target for the dog to follow, but get the food out of your hand. Click and treat when the dog follows the hand, then feed from the pouch or pocket. Now fade the hand completely and only click and treat when the dog is in the proper position. If the dog is not in the exact position you want, you can click and treat when the dog makes some effort and moves towards your leg or heel position. Eventually, you will need to only click and treat the best responses. Increasing your criteria is extremely important to build and shape the behavior to look how you want it to look. Increasing your criteria too quickly can cause the behavior to break down. If your behavior seems to break down, just go back and retrain a few steps. It is not the end of the world if you have to retrain something. Just keep pressing on and do not get frustrated. Training a dog to heel is a process. Building a solid foundation will pay off in the end. Fade out the object. Step 1, start on a higher object. Step 2, change to a lower object. Step 3, remove object completely. If the behavior breaks down, go back to using the object again, but do not get stuck using it. This is more of a reminder to the dog, and then remove the object again. Your leg will be the new target. If you're working on this for canine freestyle, try the same exercise with the dog learning to move in both directions between your legs. Good boy. Good boy. Now that you have faded the object, move in all directions to let your dog find the heel and side position. Forward in a straight line starting one step at a time. Backward in a straight line starting one step at a time. Sideways with the dog in the heel or side position moving away from your dog. Click and treat when the dog moves to the proper position. Forward circle moving right. Forward circle moving left. Backward circle moving left. Backward circle moving right. For canine freestyle, middle position moving forward, backward, right circles, and left circles. Once your dog can find the position, start increasing the amount of steps you take. Increase slowly. Keep your training sessions short. If you move too quickly and your dog fails, 1. Failure is your friend. 2. Failure reveals gaps in your training and provides you with feedback. 3. It is your responsibility to fix the gap, rework your training plan, and set your dog up to succeed. 4. It is not the dog's fault. As Steve White says, the dog is always right. The chair exercise. Create your own patterns with the chairs. Keep in mind that when the dog is on the outside, he has to move faster to keep up. Also, left turns can be challenging if the dog is in your way. If this happens, go back and reinforce the dog for being in the proper position. If you want a prancing type heel, make sure you feed with the dog's head up. In other words, feed in the position that you want. Reward with the legs coming off the ground. A high head will get the legs high, and the result will be a prance. Find the proper speed at which to walk that will get the dog to lift his legs up. This will vary from dog to dog. Now you can use the heel inside position to train more advanced tricks. Use a hallway or barriers to get the dog to back up straight when in the heel position. Make sure that you start proofing the behavior once the dog knows it.